Very good morning to all. It is our great pleasure to welcome you all to the 5 days FTP on robotics, which is sponsored by Atal Training, AICT Training, and AICT Training Learning initiatives. And first of all, we would like to thank AICT for the wonderful initiative and for sponsoring this 5 days FTP uh, through this Chennai Institute of Technology. And Chennai Institute of Technology was established in the year 2010 by our Honorable Chairman C.P. Sriram. And today our institute is being top second position among all other private engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. So it is my great pleasure to welcome Dr. Vijay Kumar Dalla, professor from NIT Samshedpur, who is one of the person extensively working on robotics. So let me welcome you for this FTP session, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And dear participants, as this program is being sponsored by Atal, so everyone has to maintain 80% attendance. So those who were unable to participate in this FTP because of some other, maybe personal issues. So hereafter, you have to be enrolled for all the 4 days because the certificate will straight away be issued by AICTE. Hence, since it is being monitored by AICTE, so we do not have any role to play in this. So all the attendance will be submitted to AICTE, and on the end of this program, there will be a quiz, and you all need to attend the quiz program, and you have to get 60% marks to be issued by the AICTE regarding the certificate. Okay, so let me request all to be aware and make use of this wonderful initiative to enhance your knowledge, since the experts, those who are being called for this program, have done some very good contribution or have contributed a lot to this wonderful field. Hence, I request all to be attentive and utilize these opportunities. And now I request Ms. Swapna Sai, student of third year mechanical engineering, to introduce our today expert, Dr. Vijay Kumar Dalla.
Once again, a very good morning to all the participants. Today in this session, we have Dr. Vijay Kumar Dalla from NIT Jamshedpur to deliver a talk on spatial transformation. Dr. Vijay Kumar Dalla, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering from NIT Jamshedpur, has completed his BE Mechanical Engineering from Government Engineering College, Bilaspur, and Tech in Material Science from IIT Bombay, and received his PhD in Robotics from IIT Roorkee. His areas of research interest includes robotics, dynamics, and control. He has published over 20 journal articles, and he has a lot of experience in teaching and delivers a talk on courses like robotics, industrial robotics, finite element method, material science, machine design, measurement, and metrology. He is also a life member of Association of Machines and Mechanism. We are very glad to have you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, please, you can go to the session, sir.
Okay. Yeah, is it visible, sir?
Sir, you can share it once again, sir. It is not visible.
Okay.
Fine, sir. You can maximize your PPT and you can go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, fine, sir. Fine, sir.
So, thank you, Professor Dinakaran, and all participants And thank you for the management of Chennai Institute of Technology for giving this opportunity and getting this FDP from AICT. Congratulations. So, dear participants, as I have been working in the field of robotics and I have some knowledges and still learning about it, and I'm here to learn from you also, not from one side. You will not you will learn from my side only. I will also learn from your side. So I'm going to start. My today's topic is spatial transformations, means 3D transformations. 3D means in all directions x, y, z. Transformations means moving a object from one point to the another point. Okay. So before that, some basic concepts like what about origin, coordinate vectors, point, and how to represent any moving object in the frame. Okay. So before that, I'm going to that how to specify a distance. So to specify a distance, a number plus a unit is required, that is known as scalar. For example, the object is 2 meters away. Okay, so this 2 meters denotes the distance. Okay, and for locating any object, we need direction. So here number plus a direction is required, that is known as vector. For example, the object, see the above one, the object is 2 meters due north. Okay, so this north denotes the direction. And what about if there will be both like a position and a orientation? We need to describe any object, so we may require sometimes positions, sometimes orientations, or sometimes both. So if there will be position and orientation, then we call it pose. Also we can say the configuration. Okay. Now a point can be described by a coordinate vector. You can see the point here denoted as capital P. The point can be described by a coordinate vector. Am I audible properly now?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. So this coordinate vector, see where it starts, from where it starts, it starts from the origin of xy and ends with some point, and that somewhere. So that point is means our target point. Means of that point we want to know about the positions and the orientations. Okay. Now, so this xy also we can have z-axis. So it will denote the reference frame. The reference frame, or you can say the fixed coordinate system, or you can say the absolute coordinate system, or you can say the means the not moving frame. Okay. Now, see here figure A and figure B. And figure B, what is extra? Suppose there is a moving object, you can see, and how to map how to know the coordinates, means the positions and orientation, so that can be done by mapping, okay, by locating, by describing its positions and the orientation. Okay, so you can see the red axis, XB, YB, these are the axes, and this frame is known as the moving frame. And see, all the points falls under the moving frame. Okay, so this is the fixed frame, and this XB denoted by red lines, solid lines, is the moving frame. Okay, and what is happening here? You can see the axes are not in parallel. XB is not in parallel to x-axis. Similarly, YB is not in parallel to y-axis. And you can see the origin is shifted by psi b. This is a vector. Okay, position vector. It is shifted by this amount. So here there is a position and a orientation. Okay, now also we call this a bound vector since it cannot be freely moved. Okay, this vector. A coordinate frame or Cartesian coordinate system is a set of orthogonal axes which intersect at a point known as the origin. Okay, this is the origin where all the axes intersects, or you can say where all the axes meet, a common point. Okay, and orthogonal means all axes are perpendicular to each other. Okay, and the Cartesian coordinates, what does it mean? Cartesian coordinates means the x, y, z. Okay, x, y, z. So means denoting of positions in x directions, y directions, z direction. Okay, the difference of 2 points is a vector. Okay, so what is a vector? The difference of 2 points is a vector. Okay, and we can add a vector to a point to obtain another point. Okay, suppose we want to know the other point, so we can add the vector. And also regarding characteristics of point and vectors, so a point has no orientation, okay, but an object has an orientation. See, this is a moving object, like it's a four-wheeler, so it has the orientation. But the point, this point, it may be a circular, suppose in a circular body, so it has no orientation. Okay. Now we need to represent a point in a space. So how to represent that? Graphically, in both way, graphically and mathematically. So points, vector, transformation, objects, and other kinematic element in a frame can be represented in the form of matrices. Okay, a point P in space means we are talking about 3D. Is represented by its 3 coordinates related to a reference frame. So here this x, y, z are the axis, and this axis known as the reference frame. Okay, and the point P here, So how to get the coordinates related to this reference frame? So what we have to do? We have to take projections parallel to its axis. Like suppose we want to know about CZ. CZ is what? Position in Z direction. Position of P in Z direction. Okay. So we need to take parallel a line. We have to draw a line parallel to Z axis. Similarly, for getting coordinates in Y axis, we need to draw a line parallel to Y. Similarly, for X. So there will be some meeting point. Okay, that meeting point is the reflection of point P. Okay, so by measuring these coordinate systems, we can know it's the magnitude. Okay, so it was about the representation of a point graphically. Now, mathematically, how to do it? So mathematically, it will be P bar is equal to AX, this AX, I cap plus BY, J cap plus CZ, K cap. Okay. So how to write it in matrix form? So in matrix form, what we have to do, this P is equal to, then the matrix, then we have to write all elements. Elements means coordinate systems. So AX here, BY comes here, CZ comes here. Okay. So that was regarding representation of point. Now, how to represent a vector in space? So a vector can be represented by three coordinates of its tail and its head. Okay, it's a tail, suppose A, head, suppose B. Okay, so suppose that this is a point P, so this is the starting point, and here will be some ending point. So ending point can be denoted by suppose B, and a starting point can be denoted by a point A. Okay, and suppose we want to know about its position, so how to get it? If the vector starts at point A and ends at point B, then it can be represented by PAB. Okay, then BX minus AX, okay, the end point and the starting point with the subscript X, and here iota. Similarly for Y direction and the Z direction. Okay, so this can be also graphically visualized by extending this P to some point. Okay, and that point also we can get by reflection. Okay, means coordinates we can get by its reflection. And see, suppose it will start from the origin, then we can write like the earlier. You can see here there is the starting point is 0. That's why this can be written in the form of this, and it can be represented in matrix like this. Okay, now scaling factor. The vector P can also be written as by including a scale factor W, which is denoted by small w. Okay, see here P, and this is the other coordinate system AX, BY, CZ. Okay, and if we multiply these coordinate systems with W, means scale factor. Then we will get Px, Py, Pz. Okay. So this P is written in the matrix form in this way. So P is equal to Px, Py, Pz, and the Px is what? Ax, W. Okay. And suppose we divide all these elements by W. Okay. So we will get Ax, By, Cz, and here 1. Okay. So what is the significance of this scaling factor? Why we are doing and why we are studying these transformations? What is the physical significance and where it is applied? So it is applied in the mapping to know about positions and the orientation of any body, any object, any 3D objects. Okay. And the scaling factor is just means to know about, means to get solution. So to get solution, then we will know about the exact locations. So it will assist in multiplication, that we will know. Okay. So the scale factor W may be any number, okay, and it changes. It can change the overall size of the vector. This is similar to the zooming function in computer graphics. Okay, in computer graphics we zoom in and zoom out by this using this scaling factor. Okay. So W may be any number, and suppose if this W is equal to 1, then it means all vector components remain unchanged. Okay. If this W here, this W will be 1, then there is no changes in the vector components. No changes means changes in the size of vector components. And suppose it is greater than 1, then all vector components enlarge. Vector components means these Px, Py, Pz. Okay. And if it is less than 1, means all vector components become smaller. Okay. There is a problem. A vector is described as P is equal to 3i 5j plus 2k. Express the vector in matrix form. Okay, with a scale factor of 2. So this, by taking scale factor 2, we can write in this way: P is equal to 6, 10, 4, 2. Means multiplying by 2. Okay. And the second part of question, if it were to describe a direction as a unit vector. Okay. Okay. So इसको कैसे करें? You can see here, unit factor may we have to describe in the form of unit vector. Okay. So how? However, in order to make the vector into a unit vector, we normalize the length to be equal to 1. To do this, each component of the vector is divided by the square root of the sum of the squares of the 3 components. Okay, this one, this gamma is equal to Px square, and this under root is for the all, plus Py square plus Pz square. Then we will get 6.16. Okay. Then the vectors can be written Px is equal to 3. Okay, 3 this one 3 divided by this 6.16, then we will get 0.487. Okay, so therefore this P unit can be written in this form. Okay, and if you square and plus, then you will get 1. You will get is equal to 1. So in this way, we can represent any position, any vectors in the form of a scale factor, and regarding its significance, so it can be used in zooming out and zooming in computer graphics, and here for multiplying the matrices, because we for multiplying matrices, the matrices should be in equal size. Like suppose there will be a matrices. If one matrix size is 3 by 4 and other matrix size is 4 by 4, then we cannot multiply. We cannot get the solution. Okay, so in that case, we need to make that 3 by 4 matrix into 4 into 4 by matrix. Okay, means we need to make the matrix into the square form. Okay, now representation of frames. See this one, what is happening here? There is a reference coordinate system and there is another moving coordinate system. Okay, but the another moving coordinate system is at the origin. It is not shifted by some amount. Okay, and x, y, z, so we can represent the moving frame like NOA. You can take a x prime, y prime, z prime, no problem. Okay, so what will be the matrix for this? The matrix will be F. Okay, F is equal to this one. So in all rows there will be NOA, 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 but with the subscription. Okay, like here x, in all elements of x, x subscript, in y, y, and so on in z. Okay. Now see this one. What is happening here? X, Y, Z is not moving frame, means fixed frame, and x, so here N, Y, here O, Z, here A. So see the all axes are not in parallel, means it got rotated, also it got shifted to somewhere, means what is happening here? Here firstly translation is going, means it got translated, then it got rotated. Okay, so how to write this in matrix form? So you can write this. See this one tells about only rotation. There is nothing about positions. Okay, but in this, see, this matrix includes the position vectors also. Okay, so this will be the, and this is known as the rotation matrix. So these 9 elements means 3 by 3 matrix is the rotation matrix, and Px, Py, Pz is the vector position vector matrix. Okay, now what about the other elements? This one we know, this is the scaling factor. Okay, W is equal to 1, means there is no changes in the size of the vectors. And why we have put 0, 0, 0 here? This is known as the perspective matrix. Okay, this one is the rotation matrix, this one the position matrix, and this is the scaling factor matrix, and this is the perspective matrix. Okay, so here we have put 0, 0, 0. Okay, and by multiplying two matrices, it will have nothing effect on the result. Okay, so now it becomes 4 by 4 matrix. Here you can see the impact of scale factor. And can we multiply this matrix with this? Is it possible? No, it is not possible. Okay. Now we will, earlier we described the point, we described the vector, and now we will deal about the pure rotations, sorry, pure translations, pure rotations, and the combinations. However, this is telling about the combinations of both translation and the rotations. Okay. So a pure rotation, a pure translation. See in this figure, the representation of a pure translation in space. So see how many translations are here. This with the p position vector and this with the d position vectors. Okay. So please tell me here only 2 translations or 3 translations. Here how many translations? See, it got shifted from the origin, 1 translation. You can say transformation, and the transformation is here translation. Okay, and see this this frame got rotated, so 2 transformations, and
Uh, Participant, please be online. I hope there might be some issue with this connection. So let us wait for you. Swapna. Swapna. Are you able to hear? So please, we will wait until he rejoins.
Hello, sir.
So let us try to reconnect. Participants, sorry for the inconvenience. So let us try to reconnect with Professor Dalla. participant, please be in online. So let us. We are trying to reconnect with Professor Della. Yeah, actually, Professor Dalla is taking the session since he was not aware that the call has cut down. So we are trying to reach you. Within a few minutes, we will be reaching him. So I request you to be in online with patients.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Please, you can switch on your camera, sir.
Okay. Yeah, camera is on, sir.
Yeah, it's not yet on, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's okay, sir. Now okay.
Okay.
Sir, please be available in phone. And actually, I think you you are not aware that you have cut down.
So I was disconnected.
Before not more than only 5 minutes, sir.
5 minutes, na?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Swapna,
Sir.
please immediately intimate sir if any issues.
Yeah, is it visible?
Visible, sir. Visible, sir. Visible.
Okay. This one actually. This one. Okay.
Previous slide, sir. Previous slide.
Okay, just 1 minute, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes sir. Problem continued. This one was okay. The presentation of frames. Yes, sir.
I think this one, na? From here
Yes.
I can.
Yeah, transformation. You can
Yeah.
do the transformation. Yes, sir.
So as I told you, transformations means it can be defined as making a movement in space, and there are 3 types of transformations. The first one is the pure translation, the second one is the pure rotation about an axis, and the third one is a combination of translation or rotation. So see, in this figure, we can see the example of all 3. Okay, pure translation. So between this, what is happening here? The pure translation is happening here. The axis got shifted, means origin got shifted, but axes are in parallel. And what about a pure rotation? Okay, suppose this x, y, z in the reference frame got rotated without shifting its origin. So that will be example of pure rotation. Okay. And a combination of, so here, see, you can see here, if you see this one and then this one, so it got shifted and rotated. Okay, so both are happening here. Okay, so it is the example of combination of translation or rotations. Okay, and how to represent that in the matrix form. So see here, we're talking about now this one only. This one means suppose this is a 1, 2 and a 3. So between the frame 2 and 3, what is happening here? Only there is a pure translation, no rotations. Okay, that's why this rotation matrix is it becomes unit matrix. Okay, and see here what is happening. The origin is shifting, means there is changes in the coordinates positions in x direction, y direction, and the z directions. So we can write dx, dy, dz here. Okay. Okay. So this was about a homogeneous transformation matrix. So why it is required? Homogeneous means the matrix size should be in square. Like it should be either 3 by 3 or 4 by 4. Okay. If the matrix will be 3 by 4 and we want to multiply it with 4 by 4 matrix, then it is not possible. Means we cannot get the solution. Means we cannot get solution means we will be unable to get the positions of robot tips and orientations. Okay. Now this is about pure rotation, and here what is our purpose? We want to know about the orthogonal rotation matrix about any axis. Suppose rotation about x, y, or z. So this is the example of rotation about z axis. Okay. So how to get the rotation matrix? So what we have to do? We have to take means in a geometrical way we can get the derivation of rotation matrix. So what we have to do here? Firstly, suppose there is a point P. Okay, and there is a no rotation, means you can say before rotation. So take the projection of P on x-axis and the y-axis, and suppose there is a now rotation. Okay, so what is happening? This x now comes here, but name is here different u, and this y comes here and the name is here v. Here also you can write y prime or x prime. Okay. So see, suppose before rotation the point P is here. So what is the x position and the y position? Okay. So this px and this py. And after rotations, this px becomes here pu and this py becomes here pv. Okay. So from this 0 to this will be L1, and this will be L2. So in this way we can get px and also py, and the pz is equal to pw here, because the rotation is itself about rotation is about its own axis. So hence there will be no changes in its position. Okay. Now these equations can be converted into matrix form. You can see px, py, pz, and this by taking common of pu, pv, and pw, we get this matrix. Okay, and this matrix is the rotation matrix. And how to know about, how to recognize whether it's a rotation about x, y, z. So see here, this the position of 1 in the matrix, see the position is Z. Suppose this is a Px, Pz. This Pz. So the row of Pz here, the last element is 1. So by this you can understand this is the rotation about 1. Okay. And what about why it is known as the unit matrix? See, the squaring either row wise or column wise. Take the root of squaring all elements and add. Suppose a cos square plus sin square. Okay. Then take the under root. Then you will get 1. Okay. That's why it is known as the unit matrix. Okay. Now here the QZ, this middle matrix, it is orthogonal. So see what are the properties of orthogonal. See, by transposing, by multiplying this matrix with its a transpose, then we will get 1. And also by taking determinant of this matrix, we will get 1. And by inversing of this matrix will be equal to the transposing of this matrix. Okay. So in this way, we can get the rotation about either z-axis, y-axis, and the x-axis. And see, transformation product here non-commutative means we cannot change the order of multiplication. Okay, we cannot change. If we change the order of multiplication, we will get the different answer. Okay. Now see how to represent this pure transition in matrix form. So, and how to represent it in the graphical form. So see, x by z is the reference fixed frame, and there is the another moving frame. And what is happening here? See, the axes are in parallel, so there is no rotation. So if there will be no rotation, then this matrix can be written in this form. Okay, the I matrix, it becomes the I matrix. Okay, and what is happening here? In x direction, see, in x direction, it got shifted along this y, along this y 2 amount, along z 1 amount. Okay, yet you can say 1 unit vector. So see, this is for px, there is no changes in px, and y, this you can see in the y direction there is a 2 unit vector, and in z 1. So in this way we can write the matrix. Okay, and suppose this pure rotation, always remember in pure rotation what will be the other moving frame will be at the origin of the fixed frame. Okay, so this position matrix will be the elements, all elements will be 0, 0, 0, but a rotation matrix will have these angles. So here cos 30, sin 30, like that. Okay, now as I told you, the sequence matters in this. So this problem, suppose a point P is attached to a frame D and is subjected to the transformations described next. Okay, find the coordinates of the point related to the reference frame at the conclusion of transformations. Okay, so see what is happening here. The point P is somewhere, and before that, what is happening? The rotation of 90 degree about the y-axis, which is followed by a rotation of 90 degree about the z-axis, and before that or translation of 6 minus 5, 7. Okay. So, how to represent it in the sequence? So see, this will be the p, x, y, z, the new coordinates of the point. Okay, and the point P and OA is here. Before that, this will be the one, and before that, this second, and before that, this third one. To see the sequence, and we have to follow this sequence. If there will be changes in the sequence, then answers will be different. Okay. So up to now, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Then I will proceed again. Shall I see the chat box?
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
We have one question, sir.
Okay.
How can we represent the new position of a body in space with respect to origin and also with respect to previous frame?
Okay. So yeah. See this figure. This is the moving x, y, z, the reference frame, and other moving frame, and there is another moving frame. This one. Okay. There are 3 frames. So how to represent? You have asked the 1 second. Please repeat the question.
Yes, sir. How can we represent the new position of a body in space with respect to origin and also with respect to previous frame?
Okay. Okay. So, okay, previous frame. Firstly, how to represent the point a body in previous frame. So, see, this is the new frame and this is the previous frame. Okay. So, see this matrix. If there is only, in this case, there is only translation, no rotation. So, no rotation means the rotation matrix becomes the I matrix. Okay, in this way we can represent the body with respect to the previous frame. Okay, now this with respect to the reference frame. So what we have to do? Reference frame. So what is happening here? Here what is happening? This in previous, what is happening? Here there is a translation plus orientation. Okay, so what will be this? There will be rotation matrix like this one, this rotation matrix, and this P plus D. So what will be Px plus Dx, Py plus Dy, Pz plus Dz. Okay, this itself, by this matrix we can represent. What extra we have to do here? Px plus Dx, Py plus Dy, Pz plus Dz. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any more question?
No more questions, sir. You can carry out with the session, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now the roll, pitch, या angles. So for this, I want to run a video. I want to play a video. Roll pitch, yeah. Roll pitch, yeah. Yeah, is it visible to you? Is it visible now?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Now,
Yes, sir, we can, sir.
yeah, see this one? Yeah, this is the best example of roll pitch, yeah, by the animation. Now I'm coming back to the PPT. I hope it will be visible.
Yes, sir.
Visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So regarding roll pitch, yeah, angle. See, just 1 minute. Something is. Okay. So roll, it can be understood by this coordinate system. See here. Okay. See, if there will be rotation about x-axis, then it will be known as roll, and rotation about y, pitch, and rotation about z, yeah. So in this way, you can remember it. Also see this by the example, this one, like I have shown in animation through animation. So, and it is applied mainly in flight system and for any moving object. See, so what is happening here? See, the whatever rotation about x is known as roll. See here, same here. Rotation about y. See this, and this is known as pitch, and rotation about z means yeah. See, okay. So if someone asks about roll, pitch, yaw angles, okay. So roll, rotation of phi a, suppose angle about a axis, okay, about a axis, and pitch, rotation about phi o is about o axis, and rotation about phi n is about an axis, NOA. Okay, so in this way we can represent. Okay, what about Euler angles, or you can say Euler angles? This rotation of phi about a axis, rotation of theta about o axis, and the rotation of phi about a axis. See, A means here NOA, so z axis. O here y axis. A here, Z axis. Okay. So there is a rotation about the Z axis in a twice. Okay. See, Euler angle rotation about Z in first, then in the second step, the rotation about Y with some different angle, and in third stage, rotation about Z again. Okay. So, and how to represent this at matrix form? So what we have to do? What is happening here? There is only rotations. So how many transformations will be here? There will be 3 transformations. Okay. So three transformations, and how to write that in the matrix form? So in the matrix form, what will be? There is a rotation about Z. Okay. So Z में क्या होगा? What will be the last element? This you can see. This one Z. Okay. And again, what is happening? Rotation about Y. Then again, what is happening? Rotation about Z. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to multiply all these 3 transformations in a sequence. Okay. Then you will get the last matrix, transformation matrix. Okay. Before that, I want to just 1 minute. Yeah, is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. And these transformation matrices can be applied for getting the kinematics of robot, means the for getting the for analyzing the positions of a robot, either in forward kinematics or in inverse kinematics. You might be knowing about forward kinematics. Forward kinematics, what is this? In forward kinematics, the for the given tip positions, or for given tip positions, what will be the angles? A set of angles that will be known as the inverse kinematics. And forward kinematics, for a given set of joint angles, what will be, or you can say, where will be your robot tip? Okay, so this will be the forward kinematics. Did you get it? Once again, forward kinematics for the given set of joint angles. Suppose for theta is equal to 30 degree. So where will be our robot tip? Okay, and in the case of inverse kinematics, for the given x tip, y tip, or z tip, okay, what will be our various joint angles? Okay, now this we can understand, means where the transformations can be applied. So it can be applied in Cartesian coordinates, and the Cartesian coordinates also known as gantry or rectangular coordinates, cylindrical coordinates, spherical coordinates, and articulated just like human-like coordinates. Okay, so what are the differences? In Cartesian coordinates, all the axes, means all the, you can say, rotations will be only the prismatic, due to prismatic. The motions will be only prismatic. Prismatic means the translation in x direction, the translation in y direction, the translation in z direction. But in cylindrical, what will be? And the spherical, this we will know. Okay. And this articulated. So this is the articulated where all the joints will be revolute, rotary. So see here, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. Okay, articulated coordinates. And then you can see here that all the rotation, all the joints are the rotating joints or revolute joints. Okay. And see this one, Cartesian. So Cartesian may, you can see, as I told you, the all the rotations here will be the only translation. There will be no rotation, there will be translation. In x direction, you can see px and py and pj. Okay, so how to apply that transformation matrix here? As I told you, if there will be no rotations, so this rotation matrix will be the I matrix. Okay, and here as there are only translations, so positions vectors we can write here px, py, pj. Okay, now in the case of spherical, so spherical, in the case of spherical, what will be? There will be one translation and two rotations. Okay, spherical, one translation, suppose translation of r along the z axis, rotation of beta about the y axis, rotation of gamma about the z axis. So here you need to remember, you need to remember the first stage means translation, in the second stage rotation of beta. Okay, beta may be some angle, but about the y-axis. This is very important. Rotation of gamma about the z-axis. Okay. So in this way, by writing the sequences of, by writing the all transformations in a sequence, we can get this the homogeneous matrix, homogeneous transformation matrix. Okay. What about in the case of this is about spherical? What about in the case of cylindrical? In cylindrical, what will be? There will be two translations and one rotations. Okay, so what you have to do? You have to write the rotation matrix, you have to write the translation matrix, and then you need to multiply all those three matrices, then you will get the final transformation matrix. Okay, now where it is applied, so example we can see, just I am going to show you, just 1 minute. Yeah, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. Okay. So see, if you ask what is the application of that transformations, so the practical real applications, you can see, suppose in this my paper, it is published, there is a hexagonal object. Okay, and we want to know about the positions and orientations after some rotations. Okay, so this one, the left side before rotation, this is a floating body in space, and this is the right one, age after rotation. Okay, schematic diagram of floating object, this one before rotation and after rotation. So see what I did in this, the displacement of gripping points in x and y directions can be evaluated as. Okay, so this is the before and the after rotations. Then we got these all kinematic relations. Okay, and why it is required? Why the kinematic inputs are required? For modeling any object, for modeling any robot. Okay, so what I did, I used one software, symbol software. In that, the kinematic inputs were required. The kinematic relations were required. Then based on that and that graphical representation, we got the derivation of dynamic equations. So in this way, you can apply the transformations in different cases of any floating body, of any 3D body, for moving body. So with this, thank you. And before that, I have one test for you. I have one test for you. So it will take only 5 minutes. Just where is the chat box? Okay. Now I'm going to share the link for test. I have shared it. Please go to. Did you get it?
Yes, sir, we got, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, please try to do it.
Yeah, we request the participant to at least take this.
And before that, suppose you have any doubt, you can ask. Any queries, please, you can ask.
So if any participant would like to come and ask straight away to the sir, you can come to live room. So please raise your hands. We will be allowing you to come and to have a live interaction with the sir. So you can raise your hands in your these things. You have speak some hand button in your application. So if you press it, you will be allowed to come and talk with sir straight away.
Yeah, someone asked what are the standard books available to refer more about transformations. So I'm writing here. I can show you. Just I'm going to show you, share you. you can see this. Regarding book, you can get from, this is a book of Introduction to Robotics by J.J. Craig. So for more about the transformations, you can go through this book. This is very standard book, nice book. Introduction to Robotics by J.J. Craig, and a PDF is available on the website. Through Google you can access.
So, who is the author of the book, sir? Asked by Vidya Ganeshan.
Yeah, J.J. Craig, John J. Craig. You can see editor visible. Visible?
No, sir, a little up, sir.
Okay, I'm going to write here, type here. J.J. Craig. Yeah, this is very standard book, nice book. Yeah, this test you can appear, but if there is a time problem, so then you can try later. This I will be sharing to the coordinator. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, you can share it, sir. We'll be sharing it, sir.
Okay, then you can access. Okay, this is to help you only.
And sir, we have one more question from Madhu.
Okay, what is the question?
Sir, the root cause for singularities in robotics manipulator is its mechanical structure?
Singularity, mechanical structure, yeah. Yeah, like suppose there is an object. So object should be, must be within the workspace. Workspace means the position plus orientation, means it should be reachable. Okay, and suppose it is beyond my reach point. So it cannot reach, it cannot deal with the object. Okay, so singularity depends upon mechanism also. The structure, mechanical structure depends on mechanical structure. If mechanical structure, suppose we are having 2 degrees of freedom, okay, and suppose θ1 and θ2 both are same, then it becomes singular. Yeah, satisfied or?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, and so for your valuable time.
Yeah.
And so
they will be trying, sir, no problem.
just a minute.
Obviously, there will be time limit, so I can leave. They will be trying. Questions, they will be trying later.
Yes, sir. So participants, those who are unable to attempt your quiz now, so you can do it and submit during the break time also. Sir, thank you so much for your valuable time, and I hope we will be meeting again. And I hope tomorrow we'll be meeting. Is it?
Day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow we'll be meeting. So the fundamental what you have taught certainly might have enhanced the fundamental understanding on robotics, because these are the things which should be learned in order to get the things into deeper. So in India, so the thing is we need to highly understand the fundamentals. So if we understand the fundamentals correctly, we will be able to develop anything. So solving the advanced problems and studying the advanced things will not help at all. But when we grow from the fundamentals, certainly we will get something deeper. And I hope this fundamental what you have taught might be helping them to learn the kinematics in a very good way. And thank you so much, sir. We would like to meet on the day after tomorrow. So thank you. We'll meet again.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Swapna, thank you, Swapna, and we will meet. Okay. So participant. So the next session will be by 11:15. So that will be handled by Dr. N.J. Vasa, professor from IIT Madras. So you can join by 11:10. You can join by 11:10. Within 11:10, the link will be activated. Okay. So the link will be activated within 11:10. So please, you can go with that. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll meet at 11:10.